Hello, Amity City! Welcome back to 87.7 Amity After Dark. Yeah, 3 a.m. So something happened, other than us getting an intro song from a DJ I'm friends with. I have an update on the Screecher case, and it's exciting. First, I want to go over some fan-submitted questions and clarify some things. First off, last broadcast I used the term werewolf to describe what we were talking about. If you were there for last broadcast, you'd know the thing we were discussing doesn't have a name. Some listeners messaged me and asked where I got that title. To be honest, I know more about that particular investigation than I was planning on talking about. It must have just slipped out. We'll talk about that again later on once I have more than what I think I have. Suffice it to say, I'm sorry for any confusion that may have caused. I've been poking around a few establishments and have had a few interesting conversations on the topic. As for a few nights ago, when we talked about the fifth house, one of you reached out and asked me to describe the man I saw in the foyer a little bit more. So I figured I would. He was in his mid-40s, tan skin, dark hair that was kind of graying at the roots. He had a scar on his left cheek that looked like a burn, and another scar on his hand that looked like a cut of some kind. He was wearing a dirty old suit. It was a gray suit with a black necktie. On his hip was a badge, I think. I hope that helps. The listener who reached out said they may be able to identify the man, whatever that means in a case like this. Now for our broadcast on ghosts. It's gotten a lot of people talking, and I wanted to clarify a few things about it. Luce, my not friend, is not to be asked about that night. She barely likes me, and I'm sure it would just annoy her. A few of you also tried to reach out to Jean, the medium I met with, who gave me the ritual to banish the spirit of Jay Hollis. Those same listeners informed me that Jean Schuyler was found dead 2 days ago. Her killing was brutal and strange, and there was a symbol painted on her forehead that I'm going to need some time to identify. You guys also gave me some ideas on where to go for other haunted locations so that I could attempt to help the spirits within them rest, so thank you for that. Luce and I have talked about setting up a regular day to go deal with that list. Another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, Gearhead, the caller from the other night. I've tried my usual informants, and nothing's come up. If anyone has any ideas, I would love to track them down and ask them a few more questions. In a few weeks, I intend to talk about the Sanguine Mafia, and their insight into the matter seemed personal. Another thing I wanted to talk about before we get into the Screecher investigation for the night. I think I'm being followed. Not in the paranoid, the government is watching me sense, but I keep seeing this man. He's tan with black hair and a scar. Yeah, so if anyone knows who I'm talking about, I'd appreciate a name. Stalkers tend to run away when you tell them their own home address, so let's run some ads and some music, and then we can talk about my update on the Screecher, okay?
The Amity City Police Department is doing its annual firearm buyback event. Any Amite can come in and drop off any unwanted firearms with no questions asked. For each gun you drop off, you get a free voucher for a free cheeseburger at any Sandy's restaurant. Let's make Amity City safer this winter. This message was brought to you by the Amity City Police Department, Amity City Mayor's Office, and Mayor Amy Lassiter.
Mendel Pharmaceuticals is happy to announce the first ever vaccine for Colcharadia V. The red flu may soon be a thing of the past. Go into your local Core Shopping, StockCo, or any other pharmacy to get your Colcharadia V vaccine. The vaccine may not yet be 100% effective, but together we can stop the spread of the red flu. If you are pregnant or planning to be, we haven't had a full-blown red flu outbreak in 15 years, but honestly, vaccination is probably a good idea. I have a theory about the red flu, actually. Sorry, we should save that one for another night. Let's get our music started with The Beginning by Silver Black. So, The Screecher. A quick recap before I dive into this. The Amity City Screaming Devil, also called the Screecher, is a local cryptid, like a bipedal butterfly man. He eats people, seemingly, and has a poor sense of direction. I intended to get him out of the city. One of you, under the username @ResearchDuck, sent me a message telling me that the Screecher tends to sleep in Wickbridge in the docks. They didn't tell me how they knew that, but they were very specific about it. There's a half-sunken warehouse there that the city hasn't started working on. I've gone there every night since getting that tip and never actually saw him. I did find evidence of a nest, though. Black tufts of fur, flakes of pieces of his wings that shine under light, bones, a lot of bones. The air in that place smells like copper and salt water, like kind of moldy. I figured I wouldn't actually be able to find him there at night, so I went there yesterday morning. Thank you again for your understanding with me not broadcasting last night. It got busy fast. I swung by in the middle of the morning. Wickbridge can be a rough part of town. It's pretty poor, and the ACPD is practically at war with the Sanguine Mafia and the Wickbridge Vigil and some other groups down there, but I know a few members of the Vigil, and they were willing to help me get where I needed to go. Inside the warehouse, I saw it, asleep in the nest it had built, surrounded by bones. It tried to rouse at the sound of the warehouse door opening, but thankfully it stayed asleep. I watched him carefully. In the light of day, his body is grotesque. Bits of burnt flesh, muscle protruding, scars, and open wounds on every limb. His arms and legs are insanely long and thin. His fingers have fused together. The smell of copper in the warehouse was amplified by the scent of blood, heavy and iron-like. The entire building smelled of mildew. His body is molding. Where I think there had once been a human face was asymmetrical now. His eyes, 2 different sizes, his mouth covered by heavy mandibles, his hair long and black. greasy, caked with blood. I really didn't think this through in the moment, but I just grabbed some sailing ropes and I tied up the cryptid that our city is best known for. I then threw him into the trunk of my friend's car. I couldn't think of a different way to lead him out of the city, so I tied him up and we drove out of town. I released him in the woods. I didn't know what to do. God, I sound crazy. Listen, there are 6.4 million people in this city. 6.4 million people. Some of them just disappear and nobody cares but me. Some of them just vanish, and when they show back up they are different and no one can see it but me. And I swear I am not crazy. I have seen things out there. The sanguine mob is eating people. There are people in our city who bend reality to their whims. There are ghosts in every building, and they are in agony, and no one cares. No one sees it. Why don't you see it? When I was a little girl, I saw a monster, and he tore my spirit, and now everywhere I go, I see them. I can't stop. I can't relax. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, but I need to, let's run some ads. I can finish the story. Let's run some ads.
Come to the Amity City Zoo. After a year of renovations, we're open and employing a new program. For $20 per adult and $15 per child, you have access to the entire 6-acre zoo. Immersive experiences. You can pet the zebras, experience training time with our penguins, sit with the red panda, see behind the scenes in our zookeeper-only areas, and feed the wolves.
This coming winter, Amity City will be in its election cycle once again. Current mayor, Amy Lassiter, has proven to be far too weak on crime, indifferent to the suffering of impoverished boroughs, and detached from the truths plaguing the common folk of the City of Dreamers. This election season, tell Amy Lassiter that Amity City is for its people. Vote for Ian Holt, a man of the people, an Amite through and through. This message was paid for by Ian Holt.
I'm sorry about my outburst. Until yesterday, I had no real proof of the occult. I had always hoped I was just going crazy. What do you do when you finally see the world that's hiding from you? What do you do when you have proof of dangers that no one should ever have to face? I'm scared. Maybe I should just quit? I'm not answering that. 87.7 Amity After Dark. What can I do for you?
She stands in opposition.
Excuse me?
Whisper not of God, and it shall not whisper of you. Speak
No,
not to the divine
he's out of the city. Why would you say that? That's...
She stands in opposition.
What is your problem? Who is this? Stop! Whisper not of God, and it shall not whisper to you. Speak not to the divine, or its eyes turn to you. This is not a world, this is a prison. We stand on the corpses of gods. There is no answer, there is only the subjective. Lose yourself in your own importance and weep your apostasy to God. Shut up! Fine. I won't quit then. Someone just decided to keep me in the fight. I don't bow to threats, and I refuse to be pushed around. There are 6.4 million people in this city. 1,286,529 of them are in some way touched by the occult. I don't know how I know that number, but I feel it in my soul every time it goes up. Let's take the gloves off. Good morning, Amity City. Go get some coffee. I've got a city to burn, and it's going to be a long day.
This is Director Aaron Quinn, Overnight Security Council of Fredonia. There's a great deal to unpack about this broadcast. S-3222, her use of the term werewolf betrays her, as that is a term only those of the species use. I believe there's more at play than luck and an organized web of specialized informants. Regardless, we should put together an assault team and make an example of any and all lycanthropes who are caught causing a breach in security. I-1002, the man she saw in the 5th house, may be Operative Stephen Anderson, father of current Operative Keegan Anderson. We lost him in the 5th house nearly 30 years ago. If she managed to find Stephen, that means he's likely a member of the house now. It's inadvisable to go looking for him, but it might be worth sending a tactical team. A-3831, the Screecher, has already found his way back to the city. Class 2 genetic aberrations such as him are often sentimental and territorial. It's no surprise he found his way back. As for the interference throughout the broadcast, it seems to me that the cult Diomedere has marked the girl as a target. Typically, they only sacrifice monsters, so we don't intervene. However, if they intend to kill a non-preternormal human, we have to step in. I intend to reassign Operative Keegan Anderson to protect Ms. Claire White. Clearly, killing her isn't working. Who knows? She could prove useful. I'm submitting this tape for review, 7 a.m. Amity After Dark is a narrative horror fiction podcast by Livewire Multimedia Stories. Claire White is voiced by Gwen Fullman. Director Quinn is voiced by Elizabeth Fullman. Written by Gwen Fullman. Co-executive produced by Gwen Fullman and Elizabeth Fullman, with music by Gwen Fullman. If you enjoyed what you just listened to, please consider contributing to our Patreon. If you would like updates on this project or any of our other projects, come follow us on Instagram at Livewire Multimedia, on Tumblr at Livewire Media, or subscribe to us on YouTube at Livewire Multimedia Stories. Thank you for listening.